Alright, so I thought it'd be a bit of fun to film the first attempt at cooking something in this... Why would you make that noise? Why would you do that? I just started.
Authentic kitchen.
Well, I'll leave it in, yeah. We've got the Nutri 9-in-1 cooker, and it's got a little recipe book with it. So we thought instead of winging it, which is my typical style of cooking, we would actually have a go at doing a potato wedges dish. So this involves a few different elements: the pressure cooking element and then a air crisp. So I'll sort of go through the process with you, and we'll get it wrong probably, but it's a bit of fun, isn't it? And I just thought I'd share the process with you before I do a proper review where you can actually learn something. So let's get started. First thing, 125 milliliters of water, aqua, H2O. As if by magic, 125 ml of water going into the pot. Now what I will say is there's a pot that goes inside the device, and I definitely would have put the water straight into the pot and immediately ruined it had I not been reminded by both the machine and by a human being also with me that I should have put this in. So that's going in now. And the water's going in as well, is that correct? Mm-hmm. Doesn't feel like enough. So you'll see on the screen what the water looks like. I don't feel like it's enough, but we are following the advice of the people who made it, so we assume it to be correct. What we're doing is cutting some potatoes into 5cm wedges. That feels too small, but you know, I suppose 5 centimeters big enough in some people's eyes. So what we're going to be doing is placing potatoes into the cook and crisp basket and placing the basket in the pot. This is a cook and crisp basket here. So we're just going to prep the potatoes, and let's cut to the finished piece. And there we go. Potatoes are in the cook and crisp basket. And now I'm going to follow the instructions for what we're supposed to do next, which is to assemble the pressure lid, which is this one here. It's a separate lid to the lid that's on the unit. Making sure the pressure release valve is in the seal position, which I'll show you in a minute. Select pressure and set to low. Set the time to 3 minutes. So let's give that a little whirl. Pressure release valve set to seal. It is supposed to be loose, by the way. So that's going to go on. No. Well, that was seamless. That worked really, really well. And now we are going to select pressure, set to low, and set the time to 3 minutes. Alright, so whilst it's under pressure and doing its thing, we are going to stir together a tablespoon of olive oil and a load of other spices, most of which we don't have. So it's going to be oil and some other bits in a little bowl, and we set that aside. So what's happening right now is the pressure is building, and then when it builds to the correct pressurized place, it's then going to count down the required amount, which was 3 minutes that we set. So yeah, whilst that's doing its thing, we're just going to get a little bowl of garnish and seasoning together. Catch up with you in a sec. So we had a little bit of a steam come at the top whenever I turn it to vent, and it's now got the timer showing us the countdown of 3 minutes. So just building pressure at that point. Countdown of 3 minutes, and the instructions say that when the pressure cooking is complete, whoa! Okay, so it's finished doing its thing, and it's now switched over to the keep warm function whilst I suppose you're prepping whatever else you need to prep. So what we're going to do is follow the next instruction, which is to pour the olive oil over the potatoes in the basket, shaking the coat evenly. So we'll give that a little go now. So olive oil on, we're just going to give this a little stir around to coat them evenly. Well, they are soft. definitely soft. So now what we need is the other lid, the crisping lid. Okay, crisping lid. This is a great video. I'm looking for the crisping lid. It's there. So found it, and what's happening here? This is such a great video. Close the crisping lid. Nailed it. Select air crisp, set to 200 and a time of 30 minutes. Check potatoes after 15 minutes. So with 15 minutes to go, or just thereabouts on the timer, we can now open, take a look, move the potatoes around, and then decide how much longer we want to put them in for, depending on how crispy we want it. So let's take a look inside and see what we've got. So you don't want to keep the lid open too long. We've had a quick look inside, check for the crispiness. We think another maybe 4 or 5 minutes for us, preference. So yeah, let's get it going. So just in case you wondered, when you lift the lid, it does actually stop the cooking process, which is why you don't want to keep it open too long. You want to put it back down and it re-engages the mechanism, and therefore the heat continues. So 3 or 4 more minutes and we'll take them out and see what they look like. So we're now at the stage where cooking is complete, and you'll see that it says done on the front of the unit, and we're going to remove onto the plate and then the all important taste test. So for your reference, what we'll do is show you inside the unit now to show you what is kind of remains of the oil. So in terms of the cleanup, what is kind of going to be expected after each session. Obviously, once I've tasted these in a moment, I might decide that less oil will be more appropriate, and therefore what's left will be different to this. But come take a look over here. So that's what we've got there, and obviously that can be cleaned and washed quite easily into a dishwasher or by hand, but again just gives you an idea of what you are left with at the bottom of the pot. And here is the finished article. Not bad for a first attempt, but how do they taste? Is that one here? Very nice. Crisp on the outside, really soft and tender on the inside. Pretty good. I think more seasoning probably required, and me personally, a little dollop of ketchup. So thanks for enduring this video. Bit of fun, possibly of little value, but I love the unit, and I think it's going to take a little bit of getting used to, but I'll come back with some more interesting developments and creations when I'm a little bit more established. But hey, let's call it a first impression vid.